And I started in here this morning because we have quite a bit of cloud, and because here we can see the gospel scene today. And it's the scene at nighttime on a stormy lake, which is no time to be out on a boat, but they're out there in a marvelous place in a very painful situation. And then Jesus shows up, and they're scared seeing this ghost-like form on the water, and then they kind of figure out it's him, and Peter calls out, "If it's you, invite me, I will walk on the water with you." And this marvelous mosaic with 160,000 pieces of Murano glass, accomplished by the lead person is Maria Jesus Ortiz de Fernandez, but obviously we shouldn't overlook the people that prepared the mix for the plaster that was placed to attach the various plaques that were prepared by the great artists, technical people from Venice, near Venice, Spielberg Studios. So you have all of these people working here, and obviously we named the great artist Maria Jesus Ortiz de Fernandez, but so many countless people are in very important moments of the development of such a great work of art. Everybody is in a marvelous and also a painful place, like Peter, like the disciples, like Jesus himself, in a marvelous but painful place. And so I want to take you outside now after we see this scene. You can always come back here and put it on pause and contemplate the detail. Let's just do a little detail before we go out. We will also have Mass here this afternoon at 4 p.m. So this is something we really can't do during Mass, because Mass is a very solemn act of worship, where here we are free to do this little chat. We're in a stroll and chat, and you can see the detail of the waves. You can see the detail of the people, the anguish of the disciples, and how to capture so many different things. And this is done with little pieces of glass, their eyes, and this incredible grip, which is one of the things that impressed me most. And I said to Maria Jesus Fernandez, I love the strength, the divine intervention, pulling Peter. His nightmare is over. Lord, save me lest I perish. And she said, you didn't understand anything. Wow. Okay, tell me what's going on. And she said, look at his face. It's so gentle, so serene, so calm. Even his clothes are blowing away in the wind, and he's so calm. And look, a little child pointed out once, look at the water at his feet. Sometimes the children notice details. Completely calm in the midst of all these waves and turmoil. And so from the soles of his feet to his brow and his forehead and the crown of his head, a pillar of peace. If you want to get closer to see more detail, let's do this. Let's put you up here. Normally you don't get up that high because this figure is pretty high. It's about maybe 9 feet off the ground, 10 feet. And you can see the detail of the work that was done to accomplish this. And our favorite little moon. There are lots of moons, but our moon at planet Earth is very special for us. And here we have these details in the fingers. It's very hard for an artist to do hands. Hands are an extraordinary reality. Look at your hands right now. They're extraordinary reality. Their dexterity, their ability to move, to grip, to touch, to caress, to press, to squeeze. these extraordinary realities that we take so much for granted and sometimes we recklessly treat. The work going on in these hands, the nerves, there's a median nerve that controls the fingers. I'm not sure if it controls all the fingers, but the median nerve is the most sensitive nerve in the human body, and it's coming straight from the brain to give all the super control, high-tech control to the fingers, to be able to play a violin, to be able to heal a wound, to be able to form a beautiful work of art, to be able to write. So many abilities of our hands. We have the starry sky. Good, so let's go outside and see how the sun is doing. This is the Singapore chapel. It was donated by people of Singapore who very generously were great supporters of Magdala. And this is the chapel of Jesus walking on the lake, donated by the people of Singapore. So we always need to think of the people who helped us and built our lives. Think of your grade school teacher, your primary school teacher. Think of your parents, your grandparents. Maybe they are long past. And they are the ones who did so much for us. Think of the ones who built the roads, the laborers who built the house that you're living in, the plumbers, the electricians. So many people to thank. And we thank our benefactors, all those who did good, benevolence, benefactor. Oh, there's some nice light coming in the sky, but the sun is still hidden. There's a silver lining in the cloud, and your camera can't see that, or your screen doesn't see that, because my eye is so blessed by the Lord that I can see the different levels and the camera can't. But there you see some of the light. But we're going to go outside to see it properly. The infinity pool is very low now, so I won't dwell here. This altar built of Lebanese cedar. This boat. So we're going to go out this side door, also something that the pilgrims normally don't get to do, but you get to do it because you're in the sunrise chat and stroll here at Magdala. Just going to make a little reverence here before the presence of the Lord. And now we come outside. Just checking the connections here, so bear with me, I forgot to do that. Are we back? I hope we're back. Good. So look at, these are the clouds that are on the west. Lots of cloud this morning. Look at the way the sunlight's hitting those. And over here it's still scarce. That's amazing, isn't it? So much cloud before the middle of August. It's absolutely extraordinary. I'm not sure if the color is how it's coming to you right now, but it's... Good morning. Sabah al-Khair. Keith Halleck. I didn't realize, I thought it was first of all one of our guests and I didn't want to intrude, but it was actually one of our workers. I didn't focus properly. But there's some nice light out here right now. Let me get you over here to a spot to see it. Wow, it's absolutely excellent. I want to find the right angle here. I think even here would be good. Just going to fix my tripod. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat, people, at the Sea of Galilee this morning. Here we are, look at this. You see the little fringe in the cloud? Right there in the center of the screen. Okie doke, there we are. There we are. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat. Now, the interesting thing is, in all of your churches and your paintings and everything, you have the Sea of Galilee. And that's what we did inside when we saw the mosaic just now. But here we have the real Sea of Galilee. And that's difficult for you to walk outside your church and see the real Sea of Galilee. But we can do that here in Magdala. Isn't that amazing? Oops, sorry about that. I hit the tripod there. That's what happened. Oh, there we have our squadron. I didn't see them well on the screen because I saw them in the reality, but I hope you did. It's a nice art form this morning in the sky. This heavenly art. Let's take a look at that again. It's just a very nice effect. How is the light shining in your life? What clouds is it hitting? Let your light shine. That detail is getting great now here. Look at that spot there. It's like it's on fire. Some of you are getting very good at screenshots, choosing the right moment, and they're going up on Instagram and YouTube and different places. It's amazing how you're using this material to spread the word that we are loved, immensely loved. We're in a marvelous place, very painful sometimes, but marvelous always, because it's filled with mystery, with wonder, with amazement. Sometimes it's squeaking like old bones, but our life is very blessed. I think we're close to seeing the sun come out. I'm going to show you the, oh, there went our squadron again. I want to show you the cloud here at the west. Need to give you the bigger picture. Isn't that amazing? Come on, camera. Come on, I'm trying to focus it here. Come on. Well, we got the most of it here. I think I can tighten it in more, but I can't. I'm not succeeding. Oh. Oops, I went into selfie. What happened? There we go. There we go, people. You got your sunrise this morning again. A little earlier today, thanks be to God. Look at that. Those crows were just asking you if you were having a good view of this, if you're seeing everything. I was just checking with my eyes. I can't see Mount Hermon, so I won't swing over there right now. Let's just stay here. I'll let you enjoy that. And I'm impressed today by the readings and by this headline that I'm putting there, a marvelous, painful place where we are. And all the three readings reflect that. So our first reading today is from that very iconic scene in Mount Sinai. Who's at Mount Sinai today? So I'm checking if you did your homework. Well, not really. I'm just happy for you, because you know, you would think of Moses and Mount Sinai, and for that very reason Elijah goes there after the incredible difficult moment dealing with the prophets of Baal and King Ahab and his wife Jezebel. Moment of great darkness for the people when they abandoned the worship of the true God, the Creator, their Redeemer from Egypt, their provident Lord who provided for them in the desert. And in a certain sense, God gives us all a promised land. He gives us so much for our sustenance, for a place to live. We think of the immigrants today leaving where they were, going to another place with great hope and expectation. And then we settle down, and then there's that huge conflict of fidelity. And then Elijah stands up against the infidelity. To my naked eye, the light is coming down in these beautiful rays or shafts of light. It's not as strong as shafts of light, but it's that light that's flowing down from that cloud there in front of us. But I'm not sure what you're seeing on your screen. Maybe an iPad screen, or if you have it connected to your television, a television screen can allow you to see it better, but I can't see it so well. Now the sun is emerging again. In a minute or two it should be completely out. So let's go with Elijah to Mount Sinai. He's escaping. You know what? We can see the hills here in northern Lebanon, so I'm just going to swing there. No, I will stay here. You saw them already. So the hills there in northern Israel, just south of Lebanon, then over to the left here, about an hour from here, we have Mount Carmel. And Elijah pretty gruesomely eliminates 450 prophets of Baal, idolaters, people who have turned their back, who are compromising and leading the people into an expression of total autonomy away from God, trusting in false gods. And he takes this incredible action, so difficult for us to digest today. And then he goes, Jezebel says, I'm going to do with you what you did to them in the next 24 hours. So he goes escaping to Mount Sinai. And he's really looking for God. And he feels he's the only one around that's faithful to God. He's an incredible prophet. I mean, he's the lead iconic prophet of all the prophets. And so he's a man of extraordinary fidelity and commitment to God, but is now in a terribly painful place because he is in danger of being killed by Jezebel. At the mountain of God, Horeb, Elijah came to a cave where he took shelter. Then the Lord said to him, Go outside and stand on the mountain before the Lord. The Lord will be passing by. A strong and heavy wind was rending the mountains and crushing rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind there was an earthquake. Imagine the power of an earthquake. and the whole ground starts to tremble. And this area has been very frequently visited by earthquakes because we're in the Rift Valley here between the Arabian and the African plates. And these collide here. And so you have all the volcanic activity historically and prehistorically, and you have the earthquakes, which happen pretty regularly. Every 100 years or so, we're due for another one sometime. So these are very powerful moments. I mean, nobody can control an earthquake. Give me a break. You know, you feel your total, it's such strength, such power. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake there was fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. Who can resist fire? Fire just consumes everything in its path. After the fire there was a tiny whispering sound. When he heard this, Elijah hid his face in his cloak and went out and stood at the entrance of the cave. How we need to learn that God can come in a soft, gentle breeze. And God is surely a God of extraordinary power, but he also comes in a very soft, gentle breeze that you can hardly hear. Right now our breeze is a little stronger than a soft, gentle breeze. It's still soft, it's still gentle, it's very comfortable, it's very enjoyable right now, right here. In fact, all night there was this breeze that's surely connected with all the cloud as well. Where is God blowing in a gentle breeze in your life? And to be able to listen then, to stop our hectic activity, the taking control of everything. Elijah has to put down his sword. He has to stop. Stop the action, stop the running. You know what Corona has done for us. And the psalm is very beautiful in that sense. Lord, let us see your kindness and grant us your salvation. And this is what Peter calls out for. Save me, I perish. He's in a marvelous place, like we think of Jesus here on this Sea of Galilee, right here. Let's go down to the water. And it's this water here, this is real water, people. This is not a Hollywood sound effect or visual effect. This is real water. H2O. There you got that little duck, or whatever it is. So look at the real water here at the lake edge. Right here. This is where it happened, you know. This is this lake. This is where Peter was in the boat with the disciples after the multiplication of the loaves. Put your finger in there. It's real water. Look, I just couldn't do this. Get you down real close. You can even smell it. It's wonderful to have you all here at Sunrise Stroll and Chat at the Sea of Galilee once again this morning, as we do every morning. Welcome everybody who is new. Thrilled to have you all. Now there's another very difficult spot that's a marvelous spot in the second reading. And I'm not sure that we'll have much time to deal with it, but we'll maybe hopefully talk about it as inspirations come this evening at the Mass. It's from the letter to the Romans, and it's about the marvelous spot because it's all about love. But it's a frustrated love. And parents experience this often with their children. Spouses may experience it among themselves. Dealing with love that's frustrated. Love that wants, that expects, that desires, and that is not granted. And read that text with the passion with which it's written. And, you know, it's Paul talking about his own people, the Jewish people. And he has discovered a huge, huge treasure. And he wants them to have a share. And he says something extraordinary. Imagine the pain. And he says, I think he says that somewhere. Oh yes, I could wish that I myself were accursed and cut off from Christ for the sake of my own people, my kindred according to the flesh. You know, parents that would, isn't this an incredible prayer that parents could have? You know, their little child has cancer, and they're almost saying, could I have that cancer so I could relieve my child? They love their child so much, they would like to spare their child that pain, that suffering. And this is the expression of Paul in a very similar way. His own kin, his own flesh, he would like to save, to redeem, even at the loss of his own self, his own salvation. Obviously that's a contradiction because his love has extraordinary perfection, and therefore that's not going to be how it happens, that he would be condemned. And it's like St. Teresa said, that incredible lady, you know, in the 1500s, and she said, I die because I don't die. I have such a longing to be with God, and I just can't wait. I want to be with God. And it's a contradiction, you know. I die because I don't die, in our terms, but it's dealing with the mystery. We're in such a marvelous place, people. Very painful, but marvelous. And that's part of the key. And if the people lack the access to the marvel, lack the online connection to the marvel, to the mystery, to this other dimension of life, then they're only swimming in pain. Their perspective is only the pain, and some little consolations along the way. So that's our prayer today, that everybody can find the marvelous in the circumstances. There's a gift in every circumstance, a gift to be discovered, even in a storm on the sea, even in the Corona period. People, it was a wonderful joy having you today. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and see you later, alligators. God bless you. Have a blessed Sunday, a wonderful new week.